Hello, everyone. I think I'm live. I hope I'm live. That was interesting. So, they changed my stream key again. And for people who don't stream, every single YouTube channel has a stream key, and you put that in your streaming software, and that's how it knows to connect to your YouTube channel. So, apparently, I started my stream and I was streaming on someone else's channel for a second. So yeah, that's twice it's done that to me this year. The first 5 years I had the same stream key, and now they've changed it twice in 1 year, which is really bizarre. I don't know if this is a new thing, but all right, we are live. How's everyone doing? We started out with 100 people waiting. That's pretty crazy. That's a record. I don't know why I keep track of that, but pretty cool. Welcome Monday night. It is November. The best time of year is upon us, the holidays. Live and in person. Thank you, Jamie. I got the new 2-year, whatever it's called, uploaded, and now it's just waiting for you. So I think that's in like 2 weeks, maybe next week. I don't know. But anyways. All right. Real quick, before we start, be sure to share this out. If you're in any fish groups or if your relatives are bored and need something to do, share it out. Let's get some people in here. We're almost up to 200, and then don't forget to like. I would appreciate it. And let's get started. So, dollar per gallon sale. It started. First thing I want to say is I've already received a few messages from people who say it's not, they're not $1 per gallon in their store. They have gone in, and the employees have said that, nope, the sale's not on. So real quick to address that, all you have to do is pull up the prices on the website, petco.com, or if you have the app, show it to them in the app, and they will match it. It is their company policy to match their website pricing. At least that's what I was told by the store manager at my Petco. So if you go into your Petco and they say, oh, it's not $1 per gallon sale, pull up the website, let them know. A lot of places, they just don't pay attention. So I've seen it in one of my local Petcos where they're like, huh? Like, and I don't know how they don't know. They literally get like pallets of tanks. And when I went in there, one of the employees says, oh, well, that would explain all the fish tanks we got. Like, you think? Oh, we got a new member to the dream team. I got to do this. Boop, 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 boop. This is the dream team right there. Although no one could probably see what that is, but I know what it is, so that's all that matters. Hellbent. Took me a minute to decipher your name. Welcome to the dream team. I appreciate it. And then I want to give you guys another tip for Petco, and that is always, well, first download the app and use the app. When you're in the store, you can use the barcode scanner on the app, and it'll tell you what the price is on the website. And things are always cheaper on the website. I mean, not always, but if they're going to be cheap, it's going to be on the website. You can almost do this with substrate, like the 10 pounds of aragonite sand. In my Petco, my local one is $10, but 10 pounds of aragonite sand on petco.com is $5.39. So yeah, keep that app. And I use it on dog food. It works a lot on dog food, dog treats. A lot of times they're a little bit cheaper on the website. So I scan everything. So $1 per gallon sale. If they say it's not on, point them to the website. And also scan everything. A lot of times you'll find like Mopani wood, all these different types of driftwood, not driftwood, but just wood in like the Reptile section that's on clearance on the website. And you can get like $15-$20 pieces of wood for like $3-4. And yeah, and it's, I mean, honestly, I would say probably like every 4 or 5 trips I go in there, I find something that's way cheaper on the website. So it's not like something you're going to find every time you go in there, but it's still definitely worth taking the time to scan everything. Fish Tank Barn with the $1.49 super chat. I want to shout out Fish Tank Barn. He's been putting out a lot of good content. on his channel. So if you guys haven't checked him out, that's Mike. Head on over there and check him out, but not till after the stream. Petco corporate does not communicate well with the stores. Well, I know from working in retail for decades that we got the store flyers on like a Saturday for the Sunday sales, and not everyone would look at them. You know, not everyone looks on a Saturday. Not everyone really there. I mean, it's retail. Not a lot of people really care when they come back in on their days off to look at the flyers. But so yeah, but I mean that can certainly be the case too. That you know, communication is not that good. But in my experience, it's usually the employees that don't care to look at the flyer. But yeah. 300 watt Aquarium Pro heater, 65 in Petco, 46 something. I don't know. Toby says, I definitely want to switch out one of my tents for 20 long and 360 degree view tank. Yeah, I am so not a fan of 10 gallon tanks anymore. Whew, man. So what I got is I only got 2 tanks so far. I got 2 40-gallon breeders to complete my wall of 8. So I'll finally be able to finish that and get a video out on that for you guys here pretty soon. I haven't picked them up yet. I'll probably go pick them up tomorrow because I got to drop some fish off in the post office anyway. A couple orders to drop off. But yeah, so far I've only gotten 2 40-gallon breeders. I need a couple of 75s, but even at you know, the sale price of $99, probably not in the budget, but maybe next dollar per gallon sale. I get a lot of questions on how long does it last. They usually, I mean, I don't work there. I'm not a representative of Petco, but they usually last about 3 to 4 weeks. So it's honestly, it's usually about a month. And so I'm sure it'll end probably by Black Friday, and then they'll have like the Black Friday sales. But you should get a couple weeks out of it, at least 3 weeks usually. Mile High Plecos is here. Holy smokes. What's up, Trevor? Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. My local Petco only has 10s or 29s. You got to be quick. You got to be quick. So my internal clock was going off last week. Remember I mentioned it last week that I wonder if the dollar per gallon sale is going to be this weekend. Because it's like every 3 months. So it's usually November, October, and then usually February, March, and then usually July. So you got to have a knack for it. You gotta have a sixth sense, if you will. Toby says, it sucks because I have 4 10 gallons. They're just too small for most fish and too big for me to consider nano. So my issues with 10-gallon tanks is only when you have a lot of them. It becomes a real pain to maintain a lot of 10-gallon tanks. If, you know, you're in a dorm or apartment and you can only have 10 gallons or less, that's cool. You know, you're not going to have a fish room of 10 gallon and smaller tanks, right? But like me, I'm redoing my fish room, and I might have like 1 row of 10s just in case for like fry or something. But man, it just takes too much time. It takes too much time, and then you can't even really do much as far as plants. And again, and this is like on a mass scale. So I ordered a bunch of plants, threw them all in these 10-gallon tanks, and like the tanks are just full of plants. And it's too much. It's too much. You trim, and yeah, it just takes up too much space, too much time, too much space. And so I'm going to go with nothing smaller than 20 gallons. Like I said, I might keep a couple 10 gallons around just for fry, and I don't know, but 20 longs, 20 highs, that's going to be the minimum, the new minimum standard around here. Fish Tank Barn says, I picked up a 125 and a 40 breeder, but not. I remember you picked up the 125 from, I feel like someone in the fish fam, but I don't remember. I was lurking somewhere and saw it. Killing Orphan says, what should my next tank be, a 40 breeder or a 75? I would say whatever you got money for and whatever you got room for. Those are both probably my favorite size tanks. Like the 40, the 75, the 125. Those are definitely in my top 3 tanks. So, yeah, like if you would have said 55 or 75, Oh yeah, 55 is trash. I hate those tanks. They can be fun. They can be fun, but they're really narrow, so you're limited on your aquascaping. Whereas like the 40 and the 75, they're more, yeah, they're rectangles, but they're more square. If that makes sense. So you can do a lot more. That depth that you get really makes up for a lot. Like you can do so much more with that depth. So honestly, 40 or 75, you're not going to go wrong. It just depends on your pocketbook and how much space you have. Toby says, I recently got a 36 gallon and it opened my eyes to how much easier a bigger tank is to clean. Yep. Actually, before my live stream, the last like 3 hours, I've been working on my 125. And you just got so much room. You can do so much. It's almost too much room. I mean, obviously the bigger the better, but it takes way more hardscape. And it's just a lot of fun. Danny Does Life takes 55 out of cart. So in your scenario, 55s are good. Like I have the same thing. My island is 2 55s on the bottom, and then I used to have the low boy on top. And that's what we're doing. So in that scenario, okay, because it's specifically there, like we're specifically making it for 55s. Although, 75s work just fine too. But you're going to have like the little edges on each side. So it's really up to you. It's your fish room. And getting light to the bottom of 55s, catching fish in them sucks too. Yeah. As far as like growing plants, I actually like the 55s. Back before YouTube, when I was selling plants and growing my own plants and selling them, like 55s were money because it only took one really good light to light the entire tank. Whereas like a 40 breeder or a 75, you could do it with the Fluval 3.0, but it was way more efficient to use multiple lights on those deeper tanks. So for stem plants, I'm all about 55 gallon tanks. It's not mine anymore, but my 125 gallon long tank is really, really good for stem plants too. So it's basically 8 feet long. It's 125 gallons. It's 8 feet long and 12 inches front to back. So it's like 2 55 gallon tanks in a row. And yeah, it only takes 2 lights and you can plant the whole thing and just grow the crap out of stem plants. Mike, you got snow there yet, buddy? Uh-oh, someone got in trouble. Yeah, that's probably not true. I want my buddy's 330 gallon LO one day, then he can upgrade. Yeah, I'm getting pretty antsy of getting my 240 gallon out of here, and because I'll be upgrading as well. Any quick tips on relocating with fish? I'm moving a few states over, 5.5 hours away. Frankie fins, don't even worry about it. Put them in a bucket. You can get like the I don't know if your car has a USB plug in it, but a lot of cars do now. And you can get the like the USB air stones from Aquarium Co-op if you even want to run air. But you got to remember, those fish spend days in bags. So really, the only thing you have to worry about is when you set up the tank, obviously you're going to lose the cycle. And so you really got to watch your parameters when you set your tank back up. That would be my advice, is really pay attention. I think the mistake people make is they just fill their tank up and throw their fish in there. Because what else are you going to do with your fish, right? You got one tank or maybe 2 tanks. And yeah, you don't really have an option to wait for your tank to cycle. Bracken, what's up, buddy? Says, how much for the 240? It's already been sold. Yep. Actually sold it a couple months ago, just waiting for Danny to make room. Somebody put tubs where the 240 gallon is supposed to be. So I don't know when we're going to be moving it. But yeah, Bracken, I already sold it a long time ago. Same with the 125 gallon long, the 8 foot 125 gallon tank. She bought that one too. So what else? Anybody else? I saw someone's getting 3 10-gallon tanks after I trash talked them. Like, I hate 10-gallon tanks. It's cold out in Canada. Yeah, I believe it. pH might be different at new location. Yes, actually, that's a very good point, John. Test your water at your new location. Very important. Very important. You need to know, do you have hard water, soft water? Frankie Finn says, I actually have a couple of those USB air pumps. Yeah, I don't know if I would put a sponge filter in a 5-gallon because it's going to get knocked around and possibly injure your fish, but you can do at least like an air stone in there. But honestly, I wouldn't even do that. But you know what? If you already have the pumps, it doesn't cost you anything for a little bit of peace of mind. So Priscilla says $1 per gallon sale is only 3 weeks. There you go. Thanks for the $2 super chat. 3 weeks. That's what I figured. I figured it'd probably be done by Black Friday. Ideas for a 20 long breeding. Well, it kind of depends. What kind of fish are you in there? Are you into? You could do, I mean, the standard guppy, shrimp. If you do plecos, you're going to have to keep up on your water changes because they poop a lot. But you can do, if you like, African cichlids, you could do shell dwellers, would be really fun. You'll probably get overrun pretty fast, but shell dwellers are fun. Deduck87 says, I can't stand this 10-gallon anymore. I think they definitely have their place. Like, I'm actually setting up a 10-gallon tank right now after I said I don't want anymore. It's more of just something I'm doing to show what can be done with them. But you still have a lot of options in a 10-gallon. It doesn't seem like much. And again, if I only had like 1 or 2 of them, I would love them. But the fact that I've got, how many do I got? Like 18 of them set up right now. When I'm doing water changes, I'm just like, ugh, it never ends. It never ends. What if you put your sponge filters in a bucket of tank water and add a USB air pump? Would that help not lose the cycle? I think you would still possibly lose the cycle. You might not lose all your beneficial bacteria, but you're definitely going to lose some of it. So I just don't know if I want a sponge filter like slopping around in the bucket along with my fish. If you're really concerned about it, you could actually go get like one of those 17-gallon totes if you have space. I mean, you're moving, so space might be at a premium. But if you did like one of the 17-gallon black totes from Home Depot, I would put a sponge filter in that because it's not gonna, it's gonna slop around, but it's not gonna hurt anything. Whereas like 5-gallon bucket, that's pretty confined. So the fish don't have a lot of places to move around if they get a sponge filter coming at them. I don't know. Does that make sense? When is the sale? It's right now. It started yesterday. Toby says, I've already done pretty much everything under the sun in a 10-gallon. I'm just done with them. Yeah, I mean, you get there. You definitely get there. You've been doing it long enough. Eventually, you do run out of stuff to do in a 10-gallon tank. So, you know what? Actually, I am keeping 3 10-gallon tanks because I have 3 bettas. And so they're all going to get their own 10-gallon tank. I mean, they're all in their own 10-gallon tank now. So, why can't local fish stores do $1 per gallon sale? Because they don't buy in the same volume. I actually have a wholesale account to buy tanks, and at wholesale, a 40 breeder for a local fish store is, I think, like $87. So yeah, there's really nothing they can do about it. And when you start getting into the bigger tanks, it's actually cheaper to buy them from a local fish store. But anything like 75 and below, even like 90 and below, is going to be cheaper at Petco. Last $1 per gallon sale, my Petco had 90-gallon tanks in there, which was pretty interesting. And they were $200, I think. Chevy Fish says, sale started yesterday and ends the 21st. There you go. Barbara Jackson says, I think a bunch of small tanks are easier if you can set up an auto water change. Otherwise, bigger is better. Well, I think we can just say, Barbara, that everything is easier with auto water change. I have to check my local pet store's prices. Yeah. Currently doing water change on the Nanos. 10s are going to be a dream. Yeah. Yep. I have a 2.5 gallon tank that I made a video of, which I don't know if it'll ever come out because it's kind of goofy, but we'll see. Curtis says, I'm celebrating my 1 month duckweed free. I hope that I got all the duckweed out of my 125. I know there's some little duckweed leaf sitting somewhere that's going to come back, but we'll see. Hopefully not. If you're into frameless tanks, looks like they're about $2 per gallon. So the frameless tanks at Petco and PetSmart, they always go on like these weird, goofy sales every once in a while. And again, you got to look on the website, not in store. I got that crazy like 40-gallon rimless tank for like $40. I think it was almost like a year ago, actually. Yeah, it was last November, a 40-gallon rimless tank for $40. It was insane, and that was actually cheaper in the store, not on the website. So I don't know why I brought that up. Maybe check both. Check both. But then I got that 10-gallon rimless. That was online for like $39, and in the store it was like $89. So I guess the moral of the story is check both always. I always walk through all of the reptile section and all of the aquarium section just to look. When they got rid of, what did they get rid of? Like New Life Spectrum or Omega? I don't know. There was some like really popular name brand that they got rid of, and everything was marked down like 90%. And if I hadn't walked through the aisle, I wouldn't even have known. The Brent says, been looking for a 75, probably just going to buy it used, could probably get it a lot cheaper. You'd be surprised. 75, at least in my area, 75 gallons, not that cheap here. And honestly, I mean, if you have a local Petco, a 75 gallon is only $100. So like, let's say you buy a used one for 60 or even 50. Like, I don't know that like saving $50 is worth my peace of mind. Used tanks, man, you don't know their history. You don't know if they've been resealed poorly. Yeah, I don't know. I got that 33-gallon long I bought used, and it leaked like after a week. So used tanks, I don't know, man. I don't know. Mickum says, if common neutral, pH, Apistos, and Planet Tank, partly gravel, and then fine sand where keeping caves, so fry can't go through gravel. Lots of hiding. Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, but you're not talking to me, so it doesn't matter. Okay, what do we got going on here? I called Petco today and asked when the sale ends. They said the 21st, at least in Illinois. Winston, the 18-year-old terrier, under the bed and can't come out. Moving mattress. Oh, jeez. Sounds like you're having a fun time there, Bob. Barbara says, I used to get great, cheap, small pieces of Mopani wood at Petco Reptile section. Yes. And that's what I said earlier. You got to go on there and you got to check. Last tank I got had roaches on the rim. Interesting. I wonder if they were breeding roaches. Plego Guy TM says, my arrowhead puffer will only eat live crayfish. Is that a problem long term? Nope, that's what they eat in the wild. I thought wood meant for reptiles were treated with chemicals that shouldn't go in a fish tank. No. I've never heard of that. I would never want wood treated with chemicals for my reptiles. Ever. Because reptiles, they gnaw on wood. They scratch at it. They're definitely going to lick it. So, yeah, chemicals on those are no good. No good. Regina says, I checked Craigslist. It's hysterical how much people ask for an old filthy tank with outdated equipment. Yes. For some reason, I forgot to hit the record or something happened, but when Danny and I went to either Goodwill or Value Village, they had a 55-gallon tank for sale for $150. I was like, you guys are smoking something good, because that is way too much for, and it was like not even a new one. I mean, you could tell just by how it's manufactured how old these tanks are, and that thing was old. And I thought I recorded it, but when I went through the footage, I probably forgot to hit record or something. UPS are living the dream says, good night, everyone. Good night. I don't buy used tanks unless I plan to reseal it myself before use. Yeah, I would. I mean, 10-gallon tanks, 5-gallon tanks, the smaller ones, I would buy used because it's pretty hard to screw up the silicone on those tanks. 170 and still so lame. Hit like. Lease? Yes, 312 people, 170 likes. Don't forget to hit the like. Reptiles use a lot of grapevine branches. Broke the word, but please hit the like. All right. Mismatched socks. I love that name. I don't know why. I wish they put the lids on sale. They'll seem to be more expensive than they should be. So they do go on sale, but never when the tanks are on sale. Lids were on like super sale like a month ago, and like super duper sale, like 70% off. Also, if you have a local glass shop, it's way cheaper to go have them cut, like way cheaper. JH Aquatics says, I want more outdoor adventures with Jimmy. Yep, we're going out this weekend. It's gonna be pretty crazy, but you gotta wait and see where it's gonna be. What was the absolute largest tank you would consider buying used? Are stands used as well? Stands, I don't have a problem buying used stands because they're very easy to inspect. You can easily tell if it's gonna hold up. Tanks, not so much. I bought a 125-gallon tank used once, and I had to reseal it. I don't know that I would buy that size tank again because a 125 on sale is only like $3.25. So unless you're getting it like free, or let's see, what would the most? What's the most I would pay for a used 125? I don't think I would pay more than like $80 for a used 125, and it would have to be new, like not like new right off the shelf, but like just like a year or two old. Nothing from like the 90s or even the 2000s. It's got to be fairly new. When I go to the Petco website, every tank over 29 gallons that are listed as not available at my local Petco for the sale price. That did it for me as well. When I first went to the website, it said not available. I put in a different zip code and it said available. And then I put in I changed it back to my zip code and it said available. And then I was able to buy 40-gallon breeders at the sale price. Really weird. I don't know. They also changed their website, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's some glitches in there. Hey, Karen. How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. Be right back, guys. I'm going to check the dimensions of a 20 long. It's 30 inches long. 30 inches by 12 by 12. There you go. No dollar per gallon sale here in New England yet. Janice, you just have to show them the price on the website and they will match it. So the website has the correct price, has the sale price, and they will match their website pricing. $201. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's always nice to start off the new month with 200 likes. I got a 5.5 at Petco today. I didn't like... Wait. Oh, I just scrolled out of it. Mismatched Socks says, I got 5.5 gallon at Petco today. Didn't look like they carry the Aquarium glass lids for that size, but my LFS. Yeah, I don't think I don't think I've ever seen a 5.5 gallon top anywhere. But at least your local fish store had it, so that's cool. Matt M says, what egg-laying fish do you think is a good start breeding in a 10-gallon after doing live bears for a bit? Epistogrammas. Get yourself a pair of epistos, and they'll breed all day long in 10 gallons. Excuse me. Curtis says, I got my 125 for $85 with lids and lights and a crazy overbuilt steel stand. So the nice thing about those tanks, though, is that you can look at the manufacture date on the bottom. They do have that sticker. Jeez. So just look for that sticker and make sure it's not like 100 years old, and you're good to go. Moonstone says, I would never dare buy a big tank used after seeing some of the Fish Fam blowouts to chicken. Yep. Yeah. Jeez. That's always the fear. Curtis St. Martin with the $1.50 super chat, and I feel like You did that earlier and I missed it, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry if I missed that first one there at 5:10 p.m. I bought a tank for profit. Awesome. Does that mean you bought a tank to breed for profit, or you bought a tank and resold it for profit? Because in a pinch, like if you don't have a job and you need to make some money, there's definitely some opportunities to resell and fix up tanks. You know, you gotta look for it. You gotta be willing to do the work though. T-Shot says, hey Bob, know of any cories that stay small like the panda cory, not pygmy cory, going in a 20 long with a pair of orange flash apistos, so I want 6 to fit in there. Thanks. My favorite Coridora that's smaller, that's not a pygmy, is Lortoensis. They're a little bit harder to come by, but Lortoensis, just like it sounds. See if you can find those, or see if your LFS can order them. They do show up on lists every once in a while, and they're really, really cool, smaller Coridora. So check them out. Toby says, gotta go for dinner. See you guys. See you later, buddy. What size for fancy goldfish? I wouldn't do fancy goldfish in anything under a 75 gallon. That would be like my bare minimum. Long term. I mean, if you're buying them as fry, obviously you can go smaller. Steenfott Aquatics, do you know when Aquarium used black silicone on tanks? A fish store near me has new ones still. So it's how they order them. So I only order, when I order tanks now, unless it's at the $1 per gallon sale, but when I order them, like when I special order them, I only order them with the black silicone. So it's an option that the stores have. They're the same price. At least where I can order from, one with black silicone is the same price as one with clear silicone. So yeah, it really depends on the store. Just bought a 75 for $99, a strictly cichlids tank. How many can I keep, Bob? Well, it depends on what cichlid. Are we talking angels, Africans, apistos? Lots of cichlids out there, so make sure you let me know. Bob Kaler with the $5 super sticker. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And T-Shot with the 99 cents. Thank you, my friend. Are aquarium and reptile tanks the same? No. No. Reptile tanks tend to have way less silicone, and they're not like, sometimes they have thinner glass, and like a lot of times they'll be like, you know, don't use over like 5 inches of water or something like that. There's usually some type of caveat on a reptile tank that's like, don't use this for aquariums. Cayman lizard, when am I getting one? Maybe when I reach 1 million subscribers. How about that? That'll be my 1 million subscriber reward. I bought the used tank, bred for profit, sold tank. Now I'm getting a 75 gallon. There you go. So African cichlids. So we've narrowed it down to African cichlids. Now we got to say, what kind of African cichlids? Peacocks, haps, Victorians, shell dwellers, Tanganyikans. If you're just doing like peacocks and ambuna, you can do a lot in a 75 gallon, quite a bit. So I would not be worried about it. And with those fish, you generally want more. You want it to be crowded, but that's going to mean you need more filtration, more water changes. So just be aware of that. What would be a fair price to list my brand new 50 gallon lowboy for sale? Well, I think those go for like 150 new, 200 new. I'm not sure. The last time I bought one, I paid $100 for them, which was wholesale price. Brand new 50. I mean, I would list it for 100 and see what happens. A lot of people love those tanks, and a lot of people want those tanks. So, yeah. I've got some 37 gallon acrylic tanks I need to give away. If anyone's in the area, you can message me at steenfotaquatics@gmail.com. I think I only have one, but I might have two still. They're 37 gallons. They're pretty gnarly. I did not clean them when I took them down, so that's why they're free. You'll have to clean them, and they're acrylic. Free acrylic tanks. That's right. Joel with the $1 super chat. Thank you. And Karen with the $1 super chat. Thank you. Jalen says, I ordered Scarlet Baddis males from a farm online for my females in a 75-gallon. That already sounds like an awesome tank. 75-gallon planted, and they sent me juvenile Baddis. I still enjoy them, but you know if there is a crossbreeding aren't Scarlet Baddis? Isn't that the same thing? Or am I confused? I might be confused. I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to look anyways. I'm sure you know what you're talking about. Scarlet Baddis, what is the scientific name? Oh, Dario. That's I always get it mixed up. I would say yes, they could probably crossbreed. Moonstone Aquatics, holy cow. Ammo fund for Pacific Northwest camping. That's very interesting, but thank you, Moonstone. I appreciate it. $25 super chat. Thank you. Mike says, did you get your Okefenokee Pygmy Sunfish yet? No. I messaged Randy like a week ago. I think since we're making it a competition, I think he got them like 3 weeks ago and just hasn't, and is like, no, I haven't got him yet, just so he can get a head start in breeding. I want to message him right now. Let's pull this over here. And this will only take a second or longer because I don't see him. There he is. Okefenokee Pygmy Sunfish. Question mark. There. See if we get an answer. Oh, man, I just scrolled all the way to the bottom. If you asked a question, ask it again. And I got to get this back. Shoot. There we go. Move this over here. Okay. Joel with the $1 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Yes, that is my email, steenfotaquatics@gmail.com. You can message me anything you want, but if you message me a question that can be found on Google, I will not even respond to you. Or I will respond to you with the Google link. Come on, people. Use the internet. 10 gallons are cool bedroom tanks for a breeding pair. No other uses. 10-gallon tanks are that. I mean, that's like their specialty, right? You know, you got like maybe a kid, you put a 10-gallon in his room. Yeah. Boy, but when you start getting, man, I got 18 of them. It's too much. It's too much. Andrew, where did you find 30 longs? They stopped making those 10 years ago. 30 longs? I've never heard of a 30 long. I have 33 longs, and I'm trying to get some 30-gallon breeders, but those are turning out to be pretty hard to get a hold of. They're having cougar incidents. Just be aware, guys. The bears are still awake, too. I'm not bothered by cougars or bears. Yeah. They don't concern me at all. Please ship me one of those tanks you have, please. I'm definitely not shipping tanks. Kane says, oh, that sounds like Randy messaged me. No. Wow. So they had them for sale on the website, and he didn't actually have them in stock. And we gave them a shout out. I'm taking back my shout out. I don't remember what website it was, but that's some pretty crappy business right there. Pretty. I don't know what website it was because Randy was the one looking it up. How do you sell something you don't have? That's so. I understand mistakes, but this was not a mistake. This was done on purpose. Fisher and Fever with the $1 super chat. Thank you, buddy. Do you still use the plant watering spikes for Pleco caves? Absolutely, I do. I've got tons of them all over the place. In tanks, out of tanks, everywhere. Definitely use them. And I still have them on my Amazon wish list for when they go on sale. Okay, I saw a 120-gallon question here. Where did it go? Curtis says, what's the point of black silicone? Just looks? Yes, I find black silicone looks way better. Black silicone, a black background, way better. Oh, here it is. Kane says, is 120 gallon big enough for a Fahaka puffer? And what is smaller, a Fahaka or Mabu? Fahaka is smaller. Mabu is the largest freshwater puffer fish in the world. And I would not keep any of them in a 120 gallon tank. A Fahaka, I would keep in a 125, like bare minimum. And the difference is, obviously, a 125 is 6 feet long, whereas a 120 is only 4 feet long. But I've seen a lot of people successfully keep Fahaka puffers in a 125, but like that would be like bare minimum for me. Like if I just absolutely couldn't get a bigger one, because a 125 is only 18 inches front to back, and your Fahaka puffer has a pretty good chance of getting 18 inches. So turning around can become a problem. Moonstone Aquatics. So how many Nanostomus? What tetra? One trio Apistos and a 75. One trio Apistos, Nanostomus, and a 75. You could do like 40 or 50. You could have a massive school in there. Huge. Huge. Oh, I need to stop drinking this carbonated water when I live stream, but it's so good. Dragon Lair says, we had 30 longs in my pet store in the 90s, but I only kept one when I sold the pet store. I'm curious of the dimensions on a 30 long. So there's 30 longs on the list now, but they're actually just 29 gallon tanks. Doesn't make any sense to me. Because I bought a 30 long, and when it showed up, it was just a 29 gallon tank, and I still have it. So I don't know what the difference is. Maybe like a half inch or something. I don't know. You hear that, Ron Bears? Now you're putting the whole station in. You hear that, Ron? Bears. Now you're putting the whole station in jeopardy. Bears are not a problem. Black bears, not a problem. Ran across a ton of bears in my time. It's not an issue. Cougars would have to be pretty dang hungry to go after someone of my size, especially when I'm with Jimmy. Jimmy's the one that's got to watch out for cougars, not me. If anything, they're gonna go after Jimmy. Craig says, here's some of my money to pay for Bigfoot's hot chocolate this weekend. Yes, I'm definitely, I don't know, man. I don't know why I didn't even think about that. Like we're going to go into like 5-degree weather, and all I brought was cold beverages. Bob, a 30 long is 36 by 12 by 12. Oh, that sounds amazing. I would love that tank. I really like the 30 breeder as well. But that sounds like a really fun tank. I think you can get that in the rimless. I think Mr. Aqua makes that in a rimless, but you're definitely not getting anything like that at $1 per gallon sale. Not rimless. What's the most dangerous bear? And thank you for the $5 super chat. Definitely going to get hot chocolate, because where we're going, it's going to be cold again. Going to be cold again. African cichlids in a 75 gallon non-planted. How many can I keep? I had, in my 75, I probably had like 20 to 25. And I know people that probably keep close to 40. Again, that's still really, really vague. Some African cichlids are like 12 inches plus. Some are like 3 inches. So it's, pretty vague. Pretty vague still, but. JC says, hey, Bob, how's your carpet python doing? Well, you would have to ask Mr. Dragonlair, because he currently has her. And I think we're getting pretty close to breeding. So he had a male, I had a female, so I shipped him my female. And I think we're getting pretty close. Can you outrun a cougar? You don't have to. Just outrun Jimmy. Yeah, I just shoot Jimmy in the kneecap, and then I'm out of there. I'm pretty sure Jimmy can outrun me, so I gotta hit him in the leg or something. E Little says, picking up a 75 tomorrow from Petco for my 3 young Oranda. Awesome. Probably not moving them for about a year, but wanted to be prepared. That's the way to do it. That is the correct. I'm curious though. How long are you going to be staring at that 75 before you just set it up? That's the hard part. I have bred Scarlet Baddis. You will probably have trouble breeding them in a tank with Baddis Baddis. Keep only Scarlet Baddis in a calm planted tank, and you will see fry at surface floating plants. There you go. Aliska says, did you get a new tent? I did buy a new tent, but Amazon is screwing me again, and I don't know if it's going to be here in time, so I might be using the same tent I used last time. We'll see. Amazon screwed me 2 weeks ago when we went. Basically, I buy something on Amazon, and Amazon Prime is like 2 days. Come Thursday, it still hadn't even shipped yet, so I had to cancel it. And then I bought my tent on Sunday, yesterday, and it was supposed to be here Wednesday, but again, it hasn't shipped yet, and I know we're still early in the week, but I have a feeling the same thing's going to happen, so we'll see. Owl Aquatics says, FYI, I rely on Bob for all the deals. Well, I haven't had much time to pay attention to the deals, and I actually turned off my notifications, which is why I stopped posting the deals. Just been too busy, so don't. Well done. Have your hands warmed up yet? Well done. Thanks. Well done. How do you keep peacock eels? Easily. You feed them bloodworms. Dragon Lair DC, I was wrong. It's 36 by 20 by 12. It's in the yard. Oh, it's in the yard in the dark. Not going to measure it. 36 by 20 by 12. That's very weird. It's a very weird size. Plot twist. Bob is Bigfoot. Now cycling my 350 coffee table aquarium for my Oscar. What should I put? Wait. I got to read that again. Now cycling my 350 gallon. I don't know. 350 coffee table aquarium for my Oscar. What should I put with it? Another Oscar? Give us some Oscar buddies. Oscars are not really my thing. I've never kept an Oscar, so I've never researched good tank mates for Oscars. Alex says, in your experience, how big or how long does it take for a bristlenose pleco to reach maturity? I've been getting lots of mixed results. So it's not something you can just say, how long does it take? Because someone who's feeding it 3 times a day and doing daily water changes is going to grow it way faster than someone that's feeding one time a day and doing weekly water changes. So that's kind of subjective. Usually right around 2.5, 3 inches, you'll start seeing them guard their caves though. So however long it takes you to get them to that size, usually like 3 inches is a good mark. Aquarium co-op photo needed, experience required? Do you think Petco will have 90-gallon tanks again in the future? I have no idea. The last $1 per gallon sale was the first time I've ever seen a 90-gallon tank in my local Petco. So I'm not sure. I'll find out. I'm going to go pick up my tanks tomorrow. I bought them yesterday. I was going to go pick them up today, but I was like, well, I got to go to the post office tomorrow anyway, so I'll just do it tomorrow. So I'll know tomorrow if my local one has them. What's SPS corals? Yeah, but I'm definitely not a coral expert. I could tell you about their bioluminescence if you want, but that's about it. Does dwarf sage and jungle val need liquid fertilizer or just root tabs? I use both now and I have hair algae problem and it was holy smokes, heart attack. Let me try that again. Dwarf sage, jungle val, do they need liquid fertilizer or just root tabs? I would use both, but if you're having issues, I would use root tabs over liquid fertilizers with both of those. I now have hair algae problem and was wondering if I could starve it off with no liquid fertilizer. I doubt it. So I don't think you're going to starve off your hair algae. If I were you, I would actually pull it all out. Hair algae is really easy. If you have like an old toothbrush or something, you can just scoop it out really easy. And then I would probably feed less and then maybe cut back on the liquid fertilizer. Maybe even lighting. Oh man, it's the imbalance game. You got to figure it out. But when I get hair algae, it's when I feed a lot for like a week straight. So extra, maybe, you know, the extra phosphates in the food or something like that. Ever have algae growing in your sand? I can't seem to get rid of it, and Python won't suck it up without sucking up all the sand. Yes, it's like the Cladophora algae will root down. Well, not really root, but it'll grab onto your sand. And normally you can just pick it up. Like once it gets like out of control, you can normally just pick up the entire like mat of Cladophora algae, and yeah, it'll be attached to some of your substrate. But usually you can just pull it out. You lose a little substrate, but it's probably worth it. Ever have algae? Oh, I just read that one. If I do the 75 gallon for a $1 sale, would that work for 5 clouded archer fish? I think so. I think you could do archer fish in 75 gallons. A 90 gallon is only 3 inches taller than I thought it was. Isn't it 4 inches taller? I could be wrong. Not that it matters. 3-4 inches. What's an inch? Twin Cities Guppy says, "What are we getting, Bob? I got 240 breeders so far. And if I can muster up enough in the budget, I want to pick up a couple 75s before this sale is over. I'm replacing 18 10-gallon tanks, so I'm going to go way down in the amount of tanks I have, but probably around the same water volume." Holy cow, I forgot to hit the thumbs up until now. Yes, we're almost at 250. Only need 11. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. I don't think Petco gets the 90s anymore, but if they did get them, it would only be one at a time. I recommend if you're looking for a 90-gallon, buy online and pick up in store, so you're not running around. Yeah, I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow. Like I said, last time they got the 90s, so we'll see. Robert Banks says, "Extreme food is the way to go. I found a fish store in Knoxville that sells it cheaper than Amazon." Awesome. I think there's a lot of places that sell it cheaper than Amazon, though, to be honest. And it is. Everyone's favorite is the krill. Not me, though. Not me. My favorite is this stuff right here. This, in my opinion, is the best. You can't even see it because of the green screen. But this is the Nano. And I think this is the best stuff ever. I absolutely love this stuff. I don't even feed the krill flakes anymore. Well, that's not true. I fed them today, but so I'll feed like 3 days in a row of this, and then maybe I'll mix in some krill, like just to give them some variety. But this Extreme Nano, like if you actually look at all the like break down the ingredients, I think this is by far the best. By far. I just read that one. Aren't there pup fish that will actually eat their hair algae though? Like Florida. I don't know about pup fish, but there's definitely fish that eat hair algae. Malta Hijacker says, "Hey Bob, running late. Hey, we're just talking about buying aquariums." I bought 2 40-gallon breeders to finish out my wall of 8 40-gallon breeders. So hopefully we can get a video of that coming out probably in like a month. But yep, cheapest was to set up a $15 15-gallon tank. Cheapest, I'm not sure what you're asking. Do you use nice pellets and what? Do you use nice? I don't know what you mean either. Sorry, my friend. Byron says, "Love the Nano." Yeah. So one of the reasons I've watched people do reviews on this stuff, and like one of the complaints is that it like sinks, and that's why I love it. So if you take like a pinch of this and put it in your aquarium, like half of it will sink and then half of it will float, which to me is like perfect. I mean, I got rainbows, I got Corridoras, I got plecos, I got fish that I need sinking food for. And so the fact that half of it floats and half of it sinks, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for a community aquarium when you got fish on all levels. So love this stuff. Have you ever heard of the Ulm? It is illegal to keep them in the U.S., but live more than 100 years and are fully aquatic blind salamanders. Ulm. Maybe. I mean, it doesn't ring any bells, but I've been in the reptile game for 30 some years, so I might have come across it on on one of my old Reptile magazines or something. I don't know. Hard to say. Aquatics says, Bob, have you ever fed mysis shrimp in your fish room? Regardless, what's your opinion on the product? I have, and it generally doesn't go over really well. Like there's stuff that you can feed that everything will eat, and then it seems like with mysis shrimp, not everything eats it. Like, I don't know. It's not my favorite. Like, I would much rather go bloodworms, something like that. Bob, are you gaming tonight? I'm working the overnight shift and need some entertainment. I no longer game Twin Cities Guppies. Sorry, my friend. That channel is now my outdoor channel. So, yep. DC2, I was remembering the dimensions wrong, so it was worth a little darkness and cold air to get it correct. Oh, did you actually go out there and get it correct? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I think I missed it. Oh, well. I'll try Nano the next time. Mine did not take the community much. Well, I'm telling you, I cannot get enough of this food. And so, Corey gave me like one of these just to try. And like the next time I went back there, I was like, I need way more of this stuff. I just love it. All right, I'll put it down. I won't talk about it anymore, but I do love it. I'm not sponsored by Extreme at all, although I wish I was, but I'm not. So. Did the co-op do a live stream? I didn't see it on their homepage. No. He went live Saturday for 4-ish hours. So I think he took the day off. Do you have any plants you can recommend for a turtle tank? My turtles eat every single plant I've ever put in there. It's very annoying. So no. I don't know what to tell you. Moonstone says, my mysis went down the drain for sure. Yeah. It was, yeah. Steenfott Aquatics Nice is the 1.5 millimeter extreme pellet naturally intense color enhancer. Wait, are you asking? If you're asking me if it has color enhancer, I have no idea. I've never used the 1.5. This is the 0.5 pellet. Bob, are you camping live tonight? I'm working the overnight shift and we'll have some entertainment. I wish where we could go live, but nope. Actually at the last camp spot, because somehow we did have like one bar of service, obviously not enough to go live, but it was enough to check temperatures, which is how I knew what the temperature was. And it's, we were at the top of the mountain, so not a lot to stop the signal, I guess. Dragonlair says 36 by 12 by 16. Interesting. That would be like a fun little like river, like maybe darters. That'd be a fun darter tank maybe. Search up the black Morpho Tetra. The Whitesmanite. I've seen that. It's by far my favorite schooling shoaling fish, and have phenomenal behavior. I've ran across. I've never seen them in person though. So. Hey Bob, I read on a forum that if your pH is too low, it will kill off beneficial bacteria. Is that true? Boy, how low would you have to get? So I don't know the exact number, but I mean, just the science behind it makes sense, right? Because if you have like 1 pH, that's like acid, so it's gonna kill a lot of stuff. I don't know what the number is though. Is it 4? Is it 4.5? I don't know. Some fish will only breed in like 4 to 4.5 pH. So, I mean, they got to still have beneficial bacteria, right? But yeah, I don't know what that number is. I don't know at what point will it start melting your bacteria. I want to get 5 gallons and start breeding some guppies from Kang Lee. Whew, 5-gallon tanks for breeding guppies. That's going to be a challenge. Live camping feed with you and Jimmy, that would be awesome. It would be a lot of fun. And actually, where we're going this weekend, where I want to go, I don't know if we're going to make it, but where I want to go, we might have signal. Might, but I don't know. We're going to, I'll just tell you, we're going to a deserted island. So, trying to organize that, getting dropped off at a deserted island and then getting picked up at a later date. So we'll see. That's the goal anyways. Love camping. Oh, I just read that one. Does anyone have a 125 gallon, and what would it cost? Glass, not acrylic. In my area, you can buy 125 gallons for about $350. Sometimes like $3.25 when they go on like super sale. PetSmart sometimes has like the 125 with stand and top for like $400. Have you ever used frozen krill from San Francisco brand? I have used frozen krill. Again, not something that went well with my fish. They didn't really care for it. I don't know if it was San Francisco brand though. It's been a long time. I don't remember the brand. But yeah, frozen krill, I don't do that. I don't do frozen mysis. I mean, when I put in an order for frozen food, I'll buy maybe like 1 pack of mysis to like 2 cases of bloodworms. So yeah. Indoor fishing inside says, hey everyone, I'm going to need 29 gallons. I'm going to need 29 gallons. Well, lucky for you, it's the $1 per gallon sale, 29 bucks. Bacteria survive better in neutral to high pH. Lowering the pH is a technique commonly used to preserve food, as bacteria doesn't like it much. There you go. When did the $1 per gallon sale start? Is it nationwide? It started on Sunday. It should be nationwide. If your Petco does not have it, you just go onto the website. It's a nationwide website, and you get them to price match the website. So it's as long as it's that price on the website, you'll get it for that price. Desert Island. Where's a good place to get CO2 setup and parts? Honestly, I bought my CO2 setup on Amazon. Like there's a lot of like the high-tech planted websites. The CO2 equipment is super expensive because it's all that high-dollar fancy crap. And I just went on Amazon and bought Aquatics stuff for way cheap. So, and it works fine for me. You know, I didn't have any issues. But, you know, I ran CO2 for like 3 years. Bob, what do you feed your bettas? Now feeding extreme bug bites and bloodworms. They don't eat spirulina. Always on the search for a great food. That's right. I said I wasn't going to show it anymore, but I feed Nano. Extreme makes the betta food, which I don't like because I think the pellets are a little too large. So I don't know. I don't remember. I think the betta has like 1 millimeter pellets, and these are 0.5. So I like these a little bit better. I would much rather feed like 5 of these pellets versus like 1 of the bigger pellets. I don't know. Oh, 282 likes. That means we're close to 300. Just need 18 likes, people. 18. Just got a frameless cube with a light from Petco for $9. See? This is why you have to walk through the aisles. You see deals like that. Yeah, $9 crazy. Any tips for Chinese water dragons? I have a 100-gallon stock pond. Thinking of building a massive bioactive enclosure. Okay, well, if you're thinking about it, I would assume you have the room and the resources. So yeah, absolutely do a massive bioactive enclosure. Water dragons are very active, right? They love swimming, they love climbing. So bigger the better, always. Always. Bioactive enclosures for a few or something. Cayman lizard. So a cayman lizard is going to have a lot higher food bill than a water dragon, but I would not mix those two in the same enclosure. I know that's not what you implied, but I'm just saying for other people that are listening. Toby says, yeah, most of the betta pellets sold are just too big. I understand, like, they can eat them. The problem with me, though, is, like, when I see them trying to gobble up, like, 5 pellets at a time and they just got them all stuffed in their mouth, like, that's not good. Feed them the smaller pellets. What do you feed musk turtles? Well, they ate all my plants, so they fed on plants for a while. I had that 50-gallon lowboy. I had dwarfs. Get out. Hey, get out. Get out. Get out. So I had the 50-gallon lowboy with dwarf sage. I had sword plants in there. I had crypts. And, I knew it was going to happen, but I thought, well, maybe if I put a lot of food in here. No. They still just destroyed all my plants. So, yeah. So right now that there's no plants left in there, I'm feeding them the rest of my Sarah catfish chips. And once those are gone, I'm never buying Sarah again. I'll find something else to feed them. But I still got like an entire tub of that stuff left. Oh, we hit 311. There we go. And 362 people. That's pretty good. The nano works well in my feeders too. Yes, this stuff works amazing in like the Eheim style auto feeder, which is my favorite. These work amazing in that feeder, in that auto feeder. And I buy like the cheap knockoffs that are like $15 versus the Eheim one that's like 30. They won't let me post. Yeah, that was these guys banging away. I don't know, lets me do it. Guess you don't have the privilege. You got to be a super mod, I guess. Super member, I don't know. USA, very lucky. Europe, very pricey. Yeah. Yep. I don't know why glass is so expensive everywhere else in the world, but it is for some reason. How big is the tank behind me? I never remember. Like 40 gallons, 37, 46. Someone will chime in. Everyone knows knows the size of this tank except for me, and I get asked every week. Byron says, I'd buy the nano in a bigger tub if they sold it. Yes, that would be amazing. So put this in the same size tub that the algae wafers are in, that the krill food is in, and that would be awesome. You can also get this to work in the easy feeders, the little... That's another good thing about this. The little squirt bottle things that Aquarium Co-op has. I'm far from a super mod and I could post it. I know. Yep. I can't tell what the Dream Team emoji is. I know, it's too small. But here, I'll show you. It's this. It's too small, though. The Dream Team, that's it. But, yeah, it's too small. Kind of sucks. It was a good thought, though. I gave myself A for effort, but it is too small. What would you add to a 55 to eat brown hair algae? Probably a Siamese algae eater. I love those fish. I don't know why. They just do a really good job. Really good job taking care of hair algae and other algae. Curtis St. Martin with the $1.50 super chat. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. There we go. Hi. I have 4 bettas and a 20-gallon sorority. 3 of them are egg-bound. I have a male. Would that help? Any tips? I probably would not add a male in with females, but I am far from a betta expert. Maybe one of our betta experts in chat can chime in there. Look at the Amanos that will give you a sense of the scale of the tank. Plus, every now and then, a shrimp climbs on Bob's shoulder. Yeah, the mono shrimp are pretty big in here. Here he comes. He's coming over. He's right here. There he is. And there he goes. All right. Oh! He's coming right after me. He's coming right at me. Tiffany, when my buddy's fish store closed, he brought 15 40 breeders home and stacked them in his yard. He gave me 5, and I got 2 more out of the yard. What? 2 more out of the yard trash in my neighborhood. It sounds to me, Dragon Lair, like you just got tanks just piled up in your yard. Oh, 30 gallon long. Let me just go outside and measure that real quick. It's just sitting in my yard with my 84 40-gallon breeders. David says, "Did you end it?" Everyone knows about my tent issue. Did you get a new tent? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. When the channel is bigger and I have a little bit more influence, I'll probably message Marmot and be like, you need to send me a free replacement, or I'm going to trash you on my channel. That's how you do it. You gotta hold them hostage. That's how you do it. That's how you make friends. Get sponsors by blackmail. T-Shot says, my Rams Corey's, Rummy Nose, Blue, Akaras, Apistos all love the nano pellets way more than the community flake. Was expecting it the other way around. Yeah, I'm telling you. The other nice thing about this is that it doesn't have the preservative that everyone claims or everyone complains about. Well, complaining is probably not the right word, but a lot of fish food. I forget the name of that preservative, and it's not even an amount to do any harm. Like it's like less than, I think it was like 1 in 75 billionth of a pellet was the preservative. So, yeah. Fun Fishology, just stopping in to say hello. Well, hello. Microworms and or Sarah Micron is okay at pistol fry food. Golden pearls, the best fry food you're ever going to find. Golden pearls. Moonstone, back for a sec. Litter, so busy, feeding time. Moonstone Aquatics, welcome back for just a sec. I'm tired of my cribs. I've had them for 4 years. Not the first time I've heard that about cribs. Slammin'. Oh, I almost read that. Not going to read that one, but a dollar per gallon sale is back. That is true. It is true. Been watching a lot of plywood builds lately, dreaming one day I may have the guts to give it a try. Yes, it's not that difficult, especially if you can, if you know anything about fiberglass, super easy. That's how I would do it. One day I'll do like a 500-gallon plywood build, but not any day soon. Going to be 70 here tomorrow. Definitely will be playing in my yard. We're going to get down into the 20s here this weekend. Should be fun. Do you use anything special with shrimp, like Bacter AE? Nope. I don't buy any of that phony baloney nonsense. And, this is coming from someone who's not a shrimp expert. So when I say phony baloney nonsense, don't listen to me. But no. Nope. I just feed them fish food. That's it. What do I've got? So I've got cherry shrimp, I've got orange, I've got yellow, I've got chocolate, I've got blue pearl, I've got blue pearl, blue dream, and red crystal shrimp. And I do nothing special for any of them. And a mono shrimp, but those don't really count. Sorry, bro, it's my gamer tag on PS4. That's perfectly all right. I just can't say it, but it did make me chuckle a little bit because I'm like 13 years old. Would a cherry shrimp colony do well with peacock gudgeons? Yes. If so, what would you say be the minimum tank for that to work? You can do it in a 20 long, really. Could you do it in a 10 gallon? Probably, but you would need very dense plants. 20 long, still very densely planted, and it'll work just fine. What backpack do you have, Bob? I have the REI 75. I have an Eddie Bauer. I have no idea what model it is. I've had it for easily 10 years, and I've never had an issue with it. One of the zippers is broken, but it is 10 years old. And it's a zipper on the inside of the pack, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, I've had this Eddie Bauer backpack maybe 15 years. I don't know. Very long time. Multi-High Jacker says, hey Bob, I bought one of those wonder shells from Aquarium Co-op. How well would you say they work on raising and stabilizing pH? So, it would also kind of depend on the size, right? If you're throwing that in a 125 versus a 10 gallon, but I don't buy wonder shells for pH. I buy it for calcium for snails and shrimp. So, it's going to definitely buffer. Well, there's also multiple sizes of those things too, right? There's the regular one, there's the jumbo one, and then there's the mini ones. Boy, I don't know. That's really tough to say. I don't know. It'll definitely help stabilize, would it raise it? Again, it depends on which one you have and what size tank. But if you're having issues, I would much prefer, like if I was having that issue of unstable pH and needing to raise it, I would go crushed coral. I would throw in some, not crushed coral, aragonite. Crushed coral will do the same thing. I just prefer the way aragonite looks. I would do an aragonite substrate. Wonder shell shouldn't change the pH. Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I think the only time I've ever used wonder shells was for snails, for the calcium. Have you ever had a Hydra breakout? If so, how did you get rid of it? Yes, I had Hydra in one of my tanks, and I just put rainbow fish in it, and they ate all the Hydra. And that was it. This is why rainbow fish are awesome. How many times have you dewormed your Maboo? I have general cured 2 separate treatments over the last year and a half, about to just Prazi Pro tree and other suggestions. Over the years, I've probably dewormed maybe a dozen times. You know, I don't think it's something that you can ever stop doing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I would probably do it once every year just because. Corey says, Wonder Shell shouldn't change pH, and says, came in once I heard we were talking serious things like backpacks. My backpack is super awesome. What's the best fish for 350 salt? I have no idea. 350 gallon saltwater tank. I don't know. I'm not a saltwater expert at all. Anyone keep Corys with their shrimp? I know they can eat them. Just curious who does it successfully. I've done it many times. So the key you can keep shrimp with just about any fish, but the key is densely planted tanks. Lots of places for the shrimp to hide. Corys don't generally actively seek out shrimp. If they come across some shrimplets, they're going to suck them up. But it's not like they see a shrimp like 4 feet away and just like dart at it and try to eat it. So it's pretty easy to keep shrimp with Corys. Just give the the shrimplets lots of places to hide. Can you give me some suggestions on how to prevent my fish from dying? Quality food, water changes, and good water parameters. All right, I'll finish reading that. Could you give me any suggestions on how to prevent my fish from dying? Once in a while, I see one off to the side for a couple days. I wind up putting them in quarantine tank with medication, and they to be continued. Aquarium co-op. What are you talking about? Aquarium co-op and ammo? Those boys are too brave? What are you talking about? I'm so confused. Anyways, you're all about ammo tonight for some reason. What's the biggest guppy you've ever seen? I bought 2 females that are about 2.5 inches. I had some gigantic black Moscow females. And, you know, the Moscows are generally way bigger to begin with. But these were massive. I mean, they were definitely in that 2.5, maybe even 3 range mark. I mean, I don't measure my fish, so I don't know. But they were huge. Really big. Really big. Justin says, I'm loving the Dragonstone, and the shrimp seem to love it too. I like the Dragonstone. Seems to be getting cheaper. Still pretty pricey, though. How hardy albino Cory is. Albino Corys are generally pretty hardy. It seems I can't just keep them for some reason. Good water parameters, but pH on the higher side. Just the water we get. I find pepper Cory. Sometimes, man, you just get those fish that everybody else and their grandmas can keep and breed, but for some reason they just don't like your water. And maybe that's it. You know, maybe that's just what you're running into here. Yeah, I feel like everybody has that one fish that theoretically should be easy, but always has issues. Mine is panda Corys. I just cannot keep panda Corys alive to save my life. Like, I've tried them like 6 times, and they always just end up dying. Any other Cory, no problem. Everyone on the internet tells me how easy panda Corys are. Everyone in chat will be like, oh, I've been breeding those for 10 years. Me, I get them, and they just die. It doesn't matter where I buy them from, who I buy them from. They always die. Bob, there was a pretty serious cougar attack on the trail in your area recently. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know if you're talking about that idiot that was like getting chased by a cougar for 6 minutes, but that guy was a moron and probably deserved to get bit and clawed a few times because he was stupid. And I hope he's watching, even though he's not. But, dude, you're an idiot. I am not worried about cougars at all. At what size should you pull bristlenose fry to sell? A lot of wholesalers sell them as small as 1.5 inch. So I like to do that 2 to 2.5 inch, but just remember the smaller, the smaller you sell it, the least amount of money you're going to get. The bigger you sell it, the more money you get. So really depends on how long you want to keep them around. Corey says, I've been killing panda cories for 10 years. Yeah, I can't do it either, my friend. Just, oh man, it's to the point where I hate panda cories now. I try to be positive when people talk about them in the chat, but me, I'm just like fuming on the inside because, it's so frustrating. I hate them. Panda fries, stir-by-fry by the dozens, and we don't try. Yes, I brag. Hey, brag away, my friends. Brag away. I can definitely not brag about that. I saw a bobcat on the side of Highway 101. It was hunting. Yeah, there was one day where I was up on some logging road, and there was like a school of bobcats. It was ridiculous. They were all out sunning on the gravel road, and it was just like you go around a corner and there was one. You go around the next corner and there was one. You go around, they were just everywhere. Bobcats everywhere. It was pretty fun. Free Joe Exotic says, don't call me an idiot. I just love big cats and filming them for 6 minutes. Free Joe Exotic. What's up, my friend? I feel like I haven't seen you around for a while. Good to see you. False Julii are my favorite. Mine are probably, it's tough. Stir-by or Lortoenses are my favorite. Have you ever had any luck with black Corridoras? I've never kept them. I don't even know what those are unless you're talking about like the black Venezuela Corridoras. In that case, I have kept Venezuela Corridoras, and those are the only black forms that I know. I don't know if there's any other types. S says my panda cories are going strong. Moonstone says my pandas are the best. I'm telling you. Good for you. Bob and Corey, your water is too soft for pandas. Plus, they don't do well over 75 degrees. Yeah, you would think. Like, I don't heat my tanks. A lot of my tanks are like 75 degrees or less, right? And I also use aragonite to raise pH. So I don't know what it is, but pandas. I hate all pandas. Anything panda. Just because of panda cories. Fish Tank Barn with a $5 super chat says, were the bobcats schooling or shoaling? Yeah, I guess that you're correct. They were shoaling. They were not schooling. They were shoaling. And Free Joe Exotic comes back to the dream team. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Membership lapse. My bad. Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I appreciate you coming back. I've noticed my pod of bobcats displayed some strange schooling behavior. Should I be worried? Do you have any sunshine plecos? I do not. They're moving in herds. They do move in herds. They love the sun on these old logging roads. Definitely have success with panda cories. I've got a batch growing out now. See, I told you. Must be the hardness of the water. Yeah. I told you, everyone was going to tell me that they're breeding them without even trying them. Randy says, oh yeah, I already said that. No Oki, Finoki, Pygmy, Sunfish. What a joke of a website. Anyways, I can't really talk. My website's kind of a joke too. At least I don't sell stuff that I don't even have in stock though. So yeah. They work great for libraries, keeping them healthy. The minerals. Are you talking about the wonder shells? My grandma has one single panda cory in her 55 with 2 of every kind of tetra. Still going, and if it wasn't for me, that tank would have 0 maintenance. I love those kind of like hodgepodge tanks. Those are always fun to look at. You're always like, what are you going to see this time? What are you going to see next? All right. 60-gallon tiger barb tank. I have 14 regular, 6 albino, 7 green. Is that the cap, or can I add a few more longfin? So I think what you should be worried about with adding longfin is that tiger barbs are fin nippers, and they might not be longfin for very long. But it really depends on how many I don't know how much maintenance you want to do. You can certainly add more, but you know, you're going to have to do more water changes, all kinds of stuff. Fish Room Fever says, Aquarium Co-op, thanks for the package. No reply necessary. Yep. Fish Room Fever, no problemo, buddy. No problemo, Nerm. I believe that, you know, Fish Room Fever got a Aquarium Co-op care package, so, you know, coming up in the world. What did you like to play? I'm playing Halo Master Chef Collection. Is that like a cooking game? I don't know. When I used to stream PUBG, and that was it. Regina Phalange says, I got my Panacories for free. The gal at PetSmart didn't write them on the bag. I didn't notice until I got home. Those are the best kind of fish. His grandma must have gone ham on that 2-for-1 sale all. Oh, yeah, the 2-for-1. Is that Petco or PetSmart? Probably both of them. The buy one, get one free. I can just picture it now. Like, you see those people in Petco. They're like, okay, I'll take 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, and 2 guppies. And I want that sucker mouth catfish, even though it's going to get 20 inches. And I also want that African cichlid. And I'll take that clownfish too. Oh, that's all right. I'll take the clownfish too. Yeah, okay, that's good. All for my 10-gallon tank. I usually bribe friends to keep them, not to make them. Justin says, thanks at Aquarium Co-op for the micro USB air pump fix. I don't know anything about that, but I'm sure he welcomes. Aquarium Co-op welcomes you. Wait, what? Fish from Fever, Fishing Barn, been working hard. Sorry I've missed you guys lately. All the loves. Bob, Panacories come from cool streams that are rocky and fast, pretty hard water. I've tried everything. Doesn't work. I kill them. I hate them. Never gonna happen. I'm never spending money on them again. Fish Leader 101 says, hey bro, what's up, bruh? I have a question. How long is the sale? 3 weeks. I've been told it goes till the 21st, and that is a Saturday, so that seems pretty accurate to me. There you go. Have you ever bred gudgeons? If so, is it easy? Is it fun? I think breeding everything is fun. There might be times when it's frustrating, but overall, like when you finally get them to breed, it's fun. So first, you know, of course it's fun. Breeding anything is fun. Have I ever bred them? No. So I have peacock gudgeons and the purple spot gudgeons, but neither are big enough to breed. And I sell the peacock gudgeons, so unless they happen to breed before I sell them, I'm not probably going to breed those. The purple spot gudgeons are super awesome. I'm probably going to keep them, and we'll see if they breed. I'm not going to purposely try to breed them, but if they just happen to breed, then that would be awesome. What's the perfect rainbow of rainbows tank? I don't know. There's way too many options there. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. All rainbows are awesome. Wait, so what is this title mean exactly? This means that Petco is having a sale on fish tanks. That sale is $1 per gallon on anything 29 gallons and smaller. No, to 10 to 29 gallons are $1 per gallon. Everything above 29 gallons is half off. That's what this title means. Autocorrect, no. Wait, autocorrect stuff sucks. Halo Master Chef. I know it's Chief. I said Chef. I'm just messing with you. PUBG is neat. The concept basically bred Fortnite. Props to going outside and doing all the fun stuff. Yep. Playing video games is fun, but going outside is more fun. Get Corey Fry after breeding blackworms and doing cold water changes. My water is on the hard side. Yep, that is the secret. Cold water changes and lots of blackworms. That is how you breed corridors. Bought a 40 breeder and a 20 long today, says Brian. That's awesome. Awesome. Do you sell red Oscars? I don't sell any Oscars at all. Freedom says 55 and 75 gallons are not $1. That is correct. They are half off, Freedom. Half off. My purple spotted gudgeons had to get their own tank. Luckily, mine are still small. So, you know, I'm not there yet, but some of them are starting to get pretty big. But I still think I got a ways to go before I got to worry about it. Just realized there's an alligator head in the lower left-hand corner of the background tank. Is there? Kind of. Kind of. I see it. Uh-oh. I just closed my chat. 1 second. And we're back. Steen, I have a question. When does the sale start? When does the sale start? When does the sale start? Me wonder? I don't know. The sale already started. I don't know what you're asking, my friend. Sorry. Chevy Fish linking the outdoor channel. I would appreciate it if you guys, go over there and check it out. If you like it, subscribe. Almost at 1,000, if you can believe that or not. And that is the magic number. Favorite gudgeon is actually the peacock gudgeon. I think it is a very beautiful fish. I might be a little biased because I've kept it now for so long. Kind of. I mean, I do keep, I sell them, but I always have them. So I might be a little biased, but I think they're super awesome fish. Very, very colorful, very fun. What would I say? Boisterous? I don't know. They're pretty outgoing for how small they are too. Just put in my online Petco order of a 75, a 40, and a 20 long. There you go, James. 75 and 40, some of the best tank sizes you can get. 75 and 40. I'm a little worried. Bob is so good at keeping up with chat. Must be exhausting. I don't know. I feel like I ignore a lot of it now. Peacock gudgeons are a great. Oh, peacock gudgeons are great too. Yep, peacock gudgeons. I shipped Candy some purple spot gudgeons, so yeah, they're pretty awesome. PJR since 1990. Any Praecox rainbows for sale, Bob? My LFS had some, but they all died to an unknown disease. I hope to have them again soon, but I don't know when. I don't even know if I'll get them, but I'm hoping. There's a lot of stuff that's happened this year. It's been hard to get specific fish in, and hopefully after this week things will calm down and I can start getting them again. Special live stream in 9 days so I can show off my new badge. I don't think so, but you can certainly leave a comment in 9 days and it'll show the new badge. You can comment on any video and it'll show your badge. It's a very special badge too. Any suggestions on how to treat Camellinus redworms? I've tried Wormer Plus and Prazzi Pro. Where is the sale? The sale is Petco and Levamisol if you haven't tried it. Oh, that's what everyone's already saying, Levamisol. And Petco, there you go. How do you feel about fluidized bed filters? Why? That's why. Seems like a lot of work. I know they look cool, but why? It's not necessary. So, what size golden pearls are best for at least killifish fry? Probably like the 50 micron. You're gonna want small. Okay, great. Thank you, Bob. Are you just ordering in some Praecox or do you have them? I buy. So mine are Praecox Rainbow from Pagai. They're specifically line bred. That's the collection point, and they are bred for me. So, yeah, they're not farm bred. They're not, not anything crazy. Good genetics. Life with Pet says, "Wow, that is a stunning tank behind you." I agree. This is Rio Watanabe. That's his tank. So he sent this in for my background, and it is amazing. Like the Panagori, this Hygrophila pinnafinida is a plant that I've never been able to grow. I kill it, just like Panacories. I kill it every single time I bring it in. And if you don't know which one that is for the people, it's, whoops, that's the wrong one. This is the one I want. It's this one right here. And here. And here. And here. This plant I've never been able to grow ever. I kill it every single time. Okay, Bob, I'm just ordering. Okay, I got that one. The chat is going crazy. Freshwater aquatics, they will spawn in a 10-gallon in a Pleco cave. All right, that's the only reason I would make one. It looks coolio. Coolio, not lying. Corn feed. What? Suggestions for a 65-gallon y'all planet tank. Rainbow fish. Slayer Sam Rainbow fish. We are one away from 350 likes. One away. What are you doing to the stream? What are you doing? Is that $1 per gallon sale happening everywhere or only select locations? It is on the website. So, if your local Petco does not have the $1 per gallon sale, pull up the website. They will price match their own website. Get jiggy with it. No. That was cool, Bob. I've never seen that plant for sale. It's, I don't know, man. This plant, Hygrophila pinnafinida. If you want it to get orange and reddish like this, you're probably going to have to do like the high-tech CO2 highlight route. Otherwise, it's going to be green like this one over here, which still looks really cool. It's a really cool fern-looking plant. And speaking of cool plants, so earlier I mentioned I was working on redoing my 125-gallon tank. I found like a little rhizome of mini bulbitis. So I was actually like, I let out a little excited yell when I found it. I was like, oh my God. So it was bulbitis hedgehog whatever mini. And I used to have it a long time ago, and I haven't seen it in my fish room in forever. So I was so happy. Like I tore up like all the driftwood, all the rocks. I tore it all out, and then there was like this little piece of mini bulbitis floating around. And yeah, pretty excited about it. 25-gallon is good for breeding because you have more space. Sure, if you're comparing it to like a 15-gallon. I don't know. What is the most accurate nitrate test? So the liquid test kit is accurate when done right. However, the problem is not a lot of people do it right. The test strips are accurate, but it's also pretty subjective. Right? It's like what color I think it is might be a different shade of what color you see. And so there's always that aspect. Usually the test strips though, you could guess like, oh, is it 30 or is it 40? It really doesn't matter. But if it's like, oh, it's 200, is it 200 or 180? Like that doesn't matter either because you need to do your water changes if it's that high. So accuracy on the test strips, as long as you get it about, you know what to do. Like I said, the problem with the liquid test kit is not a lot of people do it right. You have to shake that thing for like an hour, and not even like, not like this. Okay, a lot of people just do this. You got to go like this for like an hour, like nonstop. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it's crazy. What cories would you recommend to breed in a 20 long with only sound? Wood. You can breed any cory in a 20 long. So find one you like and breed it. Sand, not sound. I don't know. If it's sound, maybe play a little Berry White. I don't know. I wasn't going to say anything. When using liquid test, hold the bottle straight up and down and get an accurate drop. Yeah, I mean, there's that aspect too. Like if you're holding the vial this way versus this way, the drop's going to be a different size. So, there's that too. Forgot to hit the like. Kenny Schindler, you forgot to hit the like. How dare you? Well, see, now everybody hit like, and now we're only 24 away from 400 likes. So, Toby says, just called Petco, and it looks like they have 20 longs in stock. You better hurry, man. They go quick. I hate my 2.5 gallon betta tanks. Total pain in the butt. Yep. Yep. Man, I made a video on what to put in a 2.5 gallon tank, and it was tough. It was rough. It's so small. So small. Danny says, I hear that, Regina. I'm upgrading to 10s and can't wait. Not a lot of 10s, I hope. A few are okay, but not a lot. With the test strips, I use Tetra since they provide an app which will convert the color into numbers, helpful for those who are colorblind. I actually did not know that. That is super awesome. I use the Tetra test strips because they're the best value when they're on sale on Amazon. Can Corydoras trilineatus have slight different color differences, like more or less white on them? So that's one of those ones where you could have a completely different species when it being a different color. Like that's one of those Corydoras that look like 100 different species of Corydora. Although I'm sure there's definitely probably like pigment things going on. So having slightly different shades of color, probably the same species. But yeah, to me, it's still like one of those ones where, man, there's like 100 different species and they all look the same. Whose tank is that in the back? Rio Watanabe. I don't know why I say it like that. It's not even the correct pronunciation, but he said he was cool with it, so I don't care. I got permission. My Petco was out of 20 longs, but across the street, the Pet Supply Plus price match. There you go. That's the other thing people don't realize is that PetSmart will price match Petco, but not always. It really depends on the employees, because technically they're not the same brand, so they're not required to price match per their policy. But if you got like, if there's, you know, if the employees are cool, you got a cool manager. I know like my Petco, well, I don't really go to my PetSmart. I don't really go there anymore because the fish section has been horrendous. Like it used to be really good. Obviously they got new employees and it's horrendous, but they used to. The old regimen would price match Petco. What would you consider Goodwill scores? Things to look out for whenever at a secondhand store? Well, we just did a video on it. You should check it out. Lots of good ideas. Lots of good ideas. Hey, Bob, did you find that driftwood... Oh, hey, Bob, do you find that driftwood drops pH? Theoretically, it should always drop your pH. Maybe... not even enough to notice on a test kit. Maybe it's gonna like just absolutely tank your pH. You know, it's gonna depend on what type of wood and how fast it's leaching into the water, but yeah, it should always drop your pH. Any really good deals on Amazon lately? Not that I know of, but again, I turned off all my notifications for Amazon. When I was doing those deals all the time, it was pretty time consuming. Even though I had like alerts set up on stuff, you always got to look out for new things in order to be able to set up the alerts. And so, yeah, it was pretty time consuming. And I just don't have that much time anymore. Well, I do, but I'm using that time on other stuff, like fish room builds. Any favorite centerpiece for a 40 gallon? I'm wanting to do an avocado puffer. Well, that sounds like that would be your centerpiece. Sounds good to me. Pet Supplies Plus price matches Petco. Tanks are the same manufacturer. There you go. What material would you use to stop an outflow from sucking up small, you mean the intake? From sucking up small fish and shrimp? I would use sponges. Sponges. There is the top 10 Goodwill thrift store. It's not even really a top 10. It's just we went to, you know, secondhand stores and bought some stuff and gave some ideas of stuff she already had. So there you go. There's the video. Check it out. Why isn't 3D printed driftwood a thing, or whatever materials they use? Because they don't print them out of wood. You basically get a plastic... you would just get a piece of plastic, and there's the reason people want wood is because it provides many benefits to your tank. You know, if you have plecos, they're gonna gnaw on it. Tannins for your water, all sorts of good things that wood will do. Where a fake log made of plastic is not going to do for you. Also, 3D printers are still really expensive, and like a $350 3D printer is not going to be able to print any decent size of driftwood, right? I mean, that's really small. So, yeah, I think a 3D printer would be really fun, but I don't think using it for driftwood would be like the most efficient thing to do. Question is, would Pet Supplies Plus price match during the $1 per gallon sale? I think somebody just said that they do. I've never been to a Pet Supply Plus, so I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. My Malaysian driftwood dropped my pH from 7 to 6.2. Yeah, and that's also pretty relative as well. Like, putting a 12-inch piece of driftwood in a 10-gallon tank is going to do way more than putting a 12-inch piece of driftwood in a 40-gallon or 55 right? So you got to think of that stuff too. Okay. I don't know. It keeps sending me a notification that Randy messaged me, but it's the same message over and over and over. Facebook's tripping. Picked up another 10-gallon and a 40 breeder. Awesome. I've been wanting for a while today. I wanted a couple 5-gallons for some bettas, but they had none. In fact, none of the Petcos in town have them. 5 gallons are pretty rare. I don't know what it is, but I've seen 2 people post in Facebook Marketplace looking for 5-gallon. Like, I want to buy a 5-gallon. And I have one, but I'm not getting rid of it. I actually have 2 of them. I don't even use them, but I'm still not going to get rid of them. If I have a tank on the bottom shelf and a tank on the shelf above that, but they are filtered by the same sump, and I'm injecting CO2 into the bottom tank, will the top tank have just as much CO2? No, it'll dissolve by the time it ever makes it up there. Don't tell me how to live my life, Curtis. Oh, they should box. You guys should box. Who would win? Kenny or Curtis? Who would win? Farlowella catfish are really cool fish. Just picked one up a few weeks ago. Gonna add a couple more. Farlowella are very underrated catfish. They're super peaceful. They're oddball-y looking, so they're kind of like that oddball fish. They eat algae. Really awesome. They get pretty long, so you don't want, I wouldn't do one in like a 10-gallon, but 20 gallon long, 40. Absolutely. Steen, they have 5-gallon tanks at Petco. Yeah, I know they sell them, but they don't have them in stock. That's the problem. Quirky Lemon says, I have to go soon. Well, me too. In 8 minutes, actually, I have to go. Got 8 minutes left. That doesn't mean leave. We only need 9 more likes. 9 more likes. Kenny versus Curtis. I'm going to say that Curtis is going to win just because he's a member. So that automatically makes him the winner. I'm just kidding. I'd win. I'd fight dirty. There. Well, see, I was right anyways. How to successfully feed Pleco in community tank. All the food gets snatched by Cory and other fish. Well, you're going to need to feed more, but change up what you're feeding. Maybe Rapashi is really good for Plecos. You can try wafers. So I have my purple spot gudgeons in with my mini musk turtles. And the gudgeons always snatch up everything before the turtles can get to it. So I have to feed like 3 times as much and do way more water changes. So, but you can do things. I mean, I don't know what, did he say what type of Pleco? Yeah, if you have like a bristlenose Pleco, you can do like, you can put vegetables in there. Will be plenty of food for them. I've been racing the stream with water changes and I'm losing. Ooh, losing. Moonstone Aquatics with the $15 super chat. Extra good flashlight fund. Happy camping. We're gonna need like a beacon light for where we're going. We're gonna need. I do have a spotlight. I should probably bring it. I'm gonna be stranded on a deserted island in like 30-degree water. It's gonna be extra fun. Purple spot gudgeons are pigs. Yes. Super piggy fish. I love them. I think it's safe to upgrade from a 20 to a 29-gallon when it's a dresser and not official aquarium stand. I mean, that depends on your dresser. Like, dressers from like 50 years ago can probably hold like 500-gallon tanks, but dressers from IKEA, not so much. So it really depends on your tank, or not on your tank, but your dresser. I have no idea. How would you catch bristlenose fry out of a community tank to sell? I would probably put like green beans in like a pot bottle or something and leave it in there overnight, and then get in there in the morning when all the Petco's finally figured out to crawl through the opening. Jimmy says, oh, neat. I'm an angelfish. Yep. Jimmy's an angel. Oh. Man, can tell I'm at that 2-hour mark. Josh's World says, breed more fish. That's the goal when the fish rooms are done. Definitely want to breed more fish. What do you think about CO2 passive diffusers? I don't really think anything. If you want one, use it. If you don't. That's like, I mean, it really depends on your plants, what you're trying to do, on whether you use CO2 or not. Jimmy Gimbal, need to get that puffer fish game. What? Need to get on that puffer fish? I don't think he can have puffer fish. Just saying. Have you been following Off the Deep End Aquatics new build? Pretty epic room. I haven't been watching any fish tube channels, so I am so far behind. And now that I'm gone every other weekend, it's not helping either. Usually like Sunday is my catch up on YouTube time, but now I'm gone every other Sunday, so that's not it. Hey, Jimmy Cougar Bait. I had this dresser my dad had as a kid, and it's 4 feet tall and holds a 36-gallon, about 50 pounds of rock, me standing on it. Yeah, I have a really old dresser as well with a 55-gallon tank on it, and I feel like it could probably hold like 4 or 5 more. It's like super old, made of solid oak. Now everything is made out of that particle board crap. So, Cougar Bait. Oh, man. Stefan says, Josh's World, nice. Yeah, hopefully the fam goes for it. That'd be cool. What? Missed something there. Man, that's, that's something, another idea to look at for secondhand stores, right? Those old dressers or tables, that are just, things were really built way better back then. Regina Phalange says, thanks for all your help and info. I hope you don't mind me calling you Regina Phalange. I just, Friends is a good show. I can't not say it. Anyways, says, thanks for all your help and info, Bob. I really enjoy your live streams. Me too. I enjoy my live streams as well. Jimmy, you missed Bob talking about feeding you to a cougar. I said when people showed concern about us being attacked by cougars, I said, if anything, I'm too big. They're going to go after Jimmy because he's smaller. So, yeah, you're cougar bait. I think that was a little vague. Just piping in CO2 to an upside down container. Yeah, who makes that cheesy one? I don't remember the brand, but I wouldn't use it. I would just get... what brand is it? I don't know. I probably shouldn't be bashing it anyways, because it does work. I just don't like it. I'm not a fan. They work, but I'm not a fan. It's okay. Ants Canada hasn't posted anything, so you haven't missed much. Really? I saw some like clickbaity video that he wasn't making videos anymore. I just assumed it was clickbaity. Jimmy says, I rolled my ankle yesterday, so I'm dead meat. See, I'm in the clear. Moonstone Aquatics, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm in the clear from cougar attacks now. Yep. Advice for a 10-gallon tank on a kitchen counter. Just convinced my parents to let me set it up. Like what to put in it? I would do planted. I would do some sort of small schooling fish, like a rasbora, maybe ember tetras. Ember tetras are behind me as well. But any like the micro rasboras would be fun, and shrimp. Shrimp would be really fun. How many rummy nose tetras in a planted 33-gallon long with 8 bandit corridoras? You could do like 20 easily. I mean, it's only 33 gallons, but it is 4 feet long, which provides a lot of schooling area. For rummy nose tetras. So would I do more than 20? Probably not. I'd probably get in like that 15 to 20 range. Any concerns being in the kitchen? Well, if you did shrimp, I might pull some out and fillet them, add them to some pasta, shrimp pasta. But otherwise, nah, I don't think you have any issues being in. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything that would cause harm. Celestial Pearl Danios in the 10. That's another good one. Little Danio in there. Yep. I would do 60 rummy nose. That might be, I'm sure you could do it. You'd be doing a lot of water changes. He said he'd take you out in the knee, Jimmy, like Tanya Harding. Yep. She is local. We should go say hi. I wanted a 55, but then I considered the weight once filled. I have a 20-gallon long, but just got gifted a second goldfish. Got to get them into something bigger. Yep. 55-gallon, well, a 40-gallon full with rocks and stuff is like 800 pounds, like 600 to 800 pounds. A 55, whew, that'd be pretty heavy. I have a breeding pair of blue Galaris killifish that are mating, but how long until they lay eggs? Well, if they're not laying eggs, then they're not mating, right? Blue Galaris, that's a tricky fish to breed. I've never done it. I've never researched it. My advice is I did a video of Randy's Fish Room, who is breeding blue Galaris killifish, and he kind of talks about it and how to do it in that video. So can I find this video quickly? Maybe. Here it is. Dun, dun, dun. I found it. Okay, so you can skip through that video. Eventually we get to blue Galaris, and he talks about how to breed them. That would be my recommendation, because you're going to get way more information than just what I remember off the top of my head. I have a desert goby, river goby, my 55, because he was such a bully to my other gobies. He's such an awesome fish, basically the puffer fish of gobies. That's what I would put in the 5. Hi, Bob. Do your fish observe daylight savings time? Nope, not at all. We're the only idiots that do that. Animals don't. How do you get a red aquarium co-op hat? You don't. This is only one of 2 ever made. That's right. You'll never see another red one. I actually have a few pieces of aquarium co-op swag stuff we all get, except you guys don't get. I have a few one-off items. So yeah, a lot. Sometimes they'll just bring in stuff to try it out, and it either makes the cut or it doesn't. Bob didn't miss it. He said he would shoot Jimmy in the kneecap. Well, if he's got a rolled ankle, now I don't have to. Ginger Cole says, had a 10-gallon on the kitchen counter. The ceiling lights are on most of the day. You may want to keep an eye out for blackbeard algae or any algae. I tried to do a blackbeard algae carpet, and I've tried it twice now and failed miserably. But it's interesting. I think blackbeard algae looks really cool, especially when you carpet and you put like a power head on it and it like waves. It's really hard to pull off though. I still want a Steenfott hat. They're here. Has anyone had issues with Aquarium brand aquarium leaking? Reading reviews, they're making me sad. I've never had an issue at all. I'll trade you some panda quarries. Nice. PRJ since 1990 says, you're one of my favorite fish tubers. Aw, thank you. Thank you for all the videos. I sincerely hope you grow as large as Aquarium Co-op because your content is so much better and way more awesome. And you're a funny, down-to-earth guy. I made that part up, but thank Thank you for all your videos. I sincerely hope you grow as large as Aquarium Co-op because your content is awesome and you're a funny, down-to-earth guy. Well, thank you, PRJ. I keep wanting to say PB&J, so that's why I have to kind of like stutter through that. PRJ since 1990. What were you before 1990? Oh man, thank you. I appreciate it. LA wearing blue hats at the moment, Bob. LA wearing blue hats at the moment. For that thing where they throw a ball and hit it with a bat, baseball. What's more boring, baseball or golf? That's a toss-up. Jimmy needs his knees. Bob, did you ever get a hairy puffer? Yes, Alex. It's in my members only video, and I think I have a non-members video of it as well. So yeah, it's actually the thumbnail of a members only video, if I remember right. I had an Aquarium 10 leak 3 weeks ago. First one ever. Yeah, I'm not saying it's never going to happen. I will say quality control since Petco switched back to Aquarium has slipped a little bit, but normally it's cosmetic stuff like too much silicone globs in like the middle of the glass, whereas the Tetra tanks definitely thin beads of silicone, glass like just totally like a quarter of an inch overhanging, like not even lined up correctly. So the Tetra ones were still far and away the worst tanks. BLT. You're welcome, sir. I was born in 1990. Oh, so PRJ before 1990 was just a thought. Was just an idea. Curling. At least golf, you get to drive the cart. Yeah, I've crashed my fair share of golf carts. Underrated plants to carpet with. Micro chainsword. Hardly ever used, but I feel like it should be used more. It does not require, well, like medium light, but it does not require CO2. Although if you do highlight in CO2, it'll carpet way faster. So, but not required. Ham Aquatics just acquired 5 397 plecos for a breeding project. I'm so stoked. I hope you can breed them. I have one of them. And yeah, that's a pretty fancy pleco you got there. So super awesome. Any tips on converting Petco aquatic plants from immersed to submersed? If it's crypts, you can just cut the leaves off and plant it with just that, with no leaves. Otherwise, you just gotta wait. And hope that it grows back. Aqua Designs, Dolbeck Aqua Design says Styrogen repens is an amazing plant, super amazing plant. But that's all I got for you guys, because I'm like dancing. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. So we're at 2 hours. I got to go to the bathroom. My dogs have to go to the bathroom. I want to thank Hellbent for becoming a member, and Free Joe Exotic for re-subscribing. Fish Tank Barn, Curtis St. Martin, Priscilla, Curtis, Kaylor, T-Shot, Joel, Karen, Moonstone, Joel again, Fish Room Fever, Craig, Curtis St. Martin, Fish Tank Barn, Jamie McDonald, and Moonstone Aquatics again for the super chats. And thanks everyone for showing up. Lurkers, commenters, moderators, thank you. And most importantly, thank you, subscribers. We've got a lot of new subscribers, so I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me on Monday nights. This is definitely the funnest part of YouTube, so I appreciate it. And I hope to see you all next week. That's all I got for you. Yes, end.